I stood up and let the shadow approach the fitting room. Swallow me whole. Walk through the plush carpet of the boutique. My sister Olivia is still alive. I remember it too clearly. She was trying on the dress. Champagne-colored silk. Sparkle in the lights of the store. My dress, the one I wore to the first prom. Just before the catastrophe struck. Olivia spins in front of a large ornate mirror. She had a big smile on her face. Megan, take a picture. Isn't it perfect? Our mother agreed, and her phone clicked. Oh, Olivia, honey, you look fantastic. Absolutely breathtaking. None of them know. They don't know. This isn't the first time I've seen Olivia wearing this dress. They don't know. I remembered that sticky, sweet fruit punch. Immerse yourself in delicate fabrics. Just a few minutes before the prom. The photo was supposed to happen. They don't know. I remembered Olivia's feigned gasp, and she muttered to herself. Oops, clumsy me. Of course they don't know. I remember she later stole my date, Ethan. Breaks my heart and confuses me. Olivia has a gift for taking what belongs to me. Ended up depriving me of everything I cared about. But this time is different. I felt the crisp edge of the receipt. Safely tucked away in my wallet. It's for different skirts. Gold purchased a few weeks ago. Depart from a small designer shop in the city. It's far from here. A dress that Olivia knows nothing about. Olivia caught my eye in the mirror. Her smile froze slightly. Aren't you sad? I found it first, didn't I, sister? I guess we have similar tastes. I forced a neutral expression. Out of the shadows. Accept it, I say, my voice even. Honestly, Olivia, it's perfect for you. And it did. It is suitable for girls who live for the spotlight, even if she has to snatch it from someone else. I know exactly how tonight and prom night will unfold. This time, I'm ready. Back to the homepage. The familiar weight of the house settled around me. I walked around the living room. Where could Megan be? Still grunting at Olivia's picture. Then go straight upstairs. My bedroom felt like the only safe space. A sanctuary that hides secrets they can't reach. I pulled out the slick one. From the black leather diary under my mattress. It's not just a diary. Here's a record. I am determined not to repeat the map of the past. My fingers trace the entries. Hastily written words. Sometimes the ink is torn and blurry. From the first few days after my rebirth. Page after page details Olivia's betrayal. Small and large. The borrowed sweater was returned and soiled. Secrets are quietly told to the wrong people. Lying is to make yourself look better. And then there's Megan. Her blatant preference is a constant pain. Olivia is destined to be a great golden boy. And there I am. And Noah, my best friend, Noah. His betrayal was almost as deep as Olivia's. Select popularity. Choose her side at the most critical time. The memory still stings. When I rolled to the entrance, my spine shuddered. Describe in detail the end of my first life. On the night of the prom, the rain soaked the road. I found Olivia and Ethan. I was Ethan at the time. Pressed against the wall outside the rented hall. Locked in a kiss that broke my world. Blinded by tears and anger, I fled. Hop in my car and ignore calls and texts. The rain is a curtain and the road is blurred. Then there are the piercing tires. Metal and dark, disgusting crunch. Woke up here a few months ago. All the memories are intact. It's both a curse and a second chance. At dinner, Megan's call echoed down the stairs. Pull me out of the darkness of the diary. Downstairs, Olivia's atmosphere of success is strong. She chatted excitedly about her acceptance letter. Most are the same private universities. Megan has always dreamed of her. And the campus is so beautiful, Megan. Olivia gushed, pushing a shiny pamphlet across the table. They have the best business plans. Megan smiled. I know you can do it, dear. You have a lot of potential. She glanced at me, her smile narrowing slightly. Have you received a response from the state university? I was accepted last week, Megan, I whispered. The scholarship acceptance letter came out yesterday. Oh well, it's practical, she muttered to herself. Already turned to look at Olivia. You know, Olivia has always had that spark. Your sister sometimes seems to lack motivation. My hands tightened under the table, but my face stays smooth. I deftly slid my phone out, put it on my lap, and press record. Her words were casually ruthless, and now she was saved. Evidence. Not for the big reveal, not yet, just for me. Remind. The next day's school was another stage for the same play. I saw Ethan leaning against Olivia's locker. His familiar and charming smile was only aimed at her. In my previous life, he used to be my boyfriend. At this point, now he's just that popular one. It is said that I have a crush. Olivia is working her magic. I would feel a pang of jealousy. You might even cry in the bathroom. The new me walked straight up to them. Hey, I said. Inject a confidence that I don't quite feel, but know how to fake. Ethan, Olivia, I'm thinking. Next week's calculus exam is looking brutal. Maybe we can do a group study session. My place, maybe it's Friday. Ethan looked surprised, then delighted. Yes, that sounds good. Actually, I could use help. Olivia's eyes narrowed slightly. May wonder why I didn't act hurt or jealous. Of course, she agreed, although her tone was wary. Refine. Let them wonder. Let them think I'm trying to get close to Ethan. Let the seeds of my plan take root and sprout. Later, Noah caught up with me in front of my locker. His expression was serious. Hey, can I talk to you for a moment? Are you sure? Noah, what's wrong? He looked around, lowered his voice. Listen, I know it's none of my business, but beware of Olivia being by Ethan's side. I think she's really after him. He looked genuinely concerned. Play the role of a loyal best friend, the part he had previously given up, instead of turning into gratitude or tears, like I probably had before. I smiled casually at him. Thanks for the reminder, Noah. Thank you for taking care of me. Then the gears shifted smoothly, I added. So how are things going at the university? Did you complete the Princeton application? It's amazing. His face turned pale for a second, but I caught it. Princeton University, he boasted of a prestigious acceptance letter. Endlessly in our past lives. The one I found out later. He falsified part of the application. Yes, it's almost done, he stammered. Calm, I continued, keeping my tone relaxed and friendly. My Uncle Michael worked in admissions there. You know, small world, right? Maybe he will even read your application. Noah swallowed hard, his eyes quickly moving away. Oh wow. Yes, small world. He muttered an excuse to himself and hurried away. Good. Let him sweat. Make them all start to feel uncomfortable. In a predictable world that they think they control. A few days later, I got home and found that my laptop was missing. Panic, cold and familiar, trying to catch me. But I pushed it down. I know who got it. I crept down the hallway to Olivia's room. The door was slightly ajar. I peeked in and saw her sitting at her desk. My laptop opened in front of her. She was intently browsing something. My college thesis. My heart was pounding, but not fear. This time, it's a cold, calculated rhythm. I waited until she got up and went to the bathroom, then slipped into her room. Sure enough, my dissertation file was open and minimized. At the bottom of the screen, her email account is displayed. An email to herself is in her drafts folder. Attached is my article. She didn't even bother to keep it subtle. Old Amelia would have yelled, crying, demanding an explanation. The new Amelia just sat down, plugged in a micro USB drive that I carry with me now, and quickly installed a keylogger program. It took less than a minute. Then I turned everything off, erased the recent history, and shut down the laptop. I put it back on her desk, right where she put it down. When she came back from the bathroom humming, she didn't notice anything. I slipped out and was not found. Dinner that night. Megan dropped the bomb that I knew was coming. Although the time in this life is slightly different. Girls, she began. Lower her fork with unusual seriousness. Your dad and I have been looking at the finances. That's what tuition is. We may only be able to dispatch one of you to a private university. Next year. Olivia looked at me across the table. It's not subtle. It was a pure victory. She thought she had put it in the bag. This time she got a little better. Thanks in part to borrowing my homework ideas. I suspect that she kept Megan firmly in her corner. I felt the sting of the familiarity that was considered secondary. Disposable. But this time I didn't let it show. I'm just muttering to myself. Oh, okay. Thanks for letting us know, Megan. I picked up the salad and feigned disappointment. Then I made excuses for myself. I need to get something from my room. In the kitchen. Hidden from sight. I pulled out a thick envelope from my backpack. I put it near the door. Inside is a letter of acceptance. Not from a state university, but from the famous competitive art programs on the West Coast. A program I hadn't even considered in my previous life. This time, driven by knowledge of how things might turn out, I secretly did a portfolio for a few months and attached to acceptance. Full, merit-based scholarships that cover tuition fees, room and board. Something that Megan can't control or redirect. I stuffed it back in my bag before returning to the table. My expression was carefully neutral. In the following week, I remotely monitored the keylogger logs. As I suspected, Olivia adjusted a few sentences in my article, changed the title, and make it your own to her preferred private university. Megan pinned all her hopes on the same. My blood was boiling, but I didn't shoot at her directly. Instead, I arranged a meeting with my wife, Davidson, the English teacher who knows my writing style best. Mrs. Davidson, I'm starting to pretend to be a little confused. After we discussed my own college plans, I quickly asked a strange question. The other day I was browsing some online essay forums, just looking for inspiration. I saw an article that felt very familiar. It's like it's really familiar. Pretty much the same as a personal statement. Last month I had a workshop in your class. Mrs. Davidson frowned. Oh, that's worrying. Do you remember where you saw it? Unfortunately, I didn't save the link. I lied smoothly, but it is submitted in the name of a different student. I just think it's weird. Probably just a coincidence, right? Her eyes sharpened. Maybe, maybe not. Plagiarism is a serious problem, especially college applications. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. KG. I know Mrs. Davidson. He is also a member of the school's scholarship committee and have a connection with an admissions counselor at various universities. And the seed was planted. The school academic award rally arrived. A week later, I sat calmly and watched Olivia fidgeting in the front row. Her name was asked for some small honors, choir award, and then the principal stepped forward to announce major scholarships and recipients. This year's President's Award, Outstanding Academic Achievement Award. It is accompanied by significant scholarships. He roared, pausing for dramatic effect. Awarded to Amelia Chen. My name, not Olivia's. There was a hint of surprise in the student area as I walked towards the stage. Try to look appropriately humble and shocked. I went through the teachers section. I saw Mrs. Davidson leaning over. Whisper to Mr. Henderson, consultant, known for his relationship with Olivia's admissions office. Dream University. He frowned, looked thoughtfully at Olivia. She stiffened in her seat. Later that day, Ethan caught me after calculus. Hey Amelia, that test still looks tough. There is an opportunity to study freely this weekend. Seriously, you seem to be the only one who can get these things. This was new in my past life. At this point, he only saw Olivia. Ethan, of course. I smiled. How about a Saturday afternoon in the library? In our learning process? In interpretive derivatives. I carefully steered the conversation. It's funny, I mused, tapping my pen. Olivia is usually good at math. But I guess everyone has a day off. Remember that cheating? Back in my sophomore year, with a history paper. Of course, I made it up, but based on a rumor. There was a vague circulation of information about someone. Make it sound reasonable. You know, how can people look one way? It's weird. Ethan looked up from his notes. A look of uncertainty flashed across his face. Cheat? I've never heard of it. Oh, maybe it's the silence. I shrugged my shoulders contemptuously. Anyway, back to implicit differentiation. He seemed thoughtful for the rest of the meeting. His usual laser focus is on equations. Occasional drift. Once suspicion is planted, it becomes a powerful thing. The foreseeable explosion occurred after school on Monday. Olivia pushed me to the bike rack. Her face flushed with anger. What you've been telling people, Amelia. What lies are you spreading about me? I didn't raise my voice. I had no defense. I just unlocked my phone, extract screenshots from keyloggers, show my article in her name, in her college application portal, then take it out for her to see. Lies, Olivia, I asked softly. Or maybe we're talking about this. The color on her face was gone. Her eyes scanned around, afraid that someone might see. Where? How did you get it? She whispered, her voice shaking. Does it matter? I kept my tone calm. You see, I don't want to get in trouble. Maybe we should sit down with Megan and Dad and talk. Then discuss the issue. Figure out what's going on. Panic flashed in her eyes. No, don't. Please, Amelia. She grabbed my arm. Okay. I would stay away from Ethan completely. Just please don't tell Megan and Daddy, please. I gently pulled my arm away. I just hope we can all get along. Olivia, no drama. I smiled at her. Let's forget about it, shall we? I walked away, leaving her standing there shivering. She looked completely confused. I lost my balance because I wasn't hysterical. My quiet control. Round one is complete. She was nervous, and I had an influence she never expected. The relative calm didn't last long. A few weeks later, I logged into my online banking. Check small. College savings accounts. My parents arranged it for me a few years ago. I was out of breath. A large sum of money was lost. Transferred out only 2 days ago. Destination of Olivia's account. I felt a wave of helpless anger welling up in my heart. But it was quickly flattened. Confronting Megan leads to denial, excuses. Maybe even accuse me of being selfish. Olivia needs it more, she might say. Instead, I printed the transaction history. It's not just this one that I dug deeper. Look for smaller, problematic transfers. Over the past few years, the money transferred from my account was used to pay for Olivia's band trip, her expensive art supplies. Even her car insurance has increased. After the fender bend she caused. With a folder full of evidence, I called my dad. My parents divorced when I was 10 years old. And Dad has always been very distant. Maybe in his own way to love, but engrossed in his new life, his new job in the city. He usually just mails checks and calls on his birthday. He was not involved in the daily drama. Megan prefers this way. We met near his office for coffee. I put the printout on the small table between us. Dad, I'm starting to try to sound more hesitant than I feel. I don't want to bother you, but I've noticed some. The money in my college account is gone. When I looked closely, he glanced at the papers. His brow furrowed deeper with each page published. That distant, easygoing demeanor is gone. Instead, there was a quiet anger that I rarely saw. To do this, she transfers your money to Olivia. He pointed to Olivia's auto insurance line. Don't ask you, don't tell me. I don't know what to do. I looked down at my coffee cup. Play as a wronged, uncertain daughter. He was silent for a long time, and Megan bit her chin tightly. Now stopped, he finally said, his voice firm. We're going to the bank this afternoon. We will set up a new account in your name. Completely independent. I'm going to put something extra myself. Make things right. Mom is too much. This time, he looked really angry and even protecting himself. It's a side of him I've never seen before. Maybe this rebirth is not just for revenge, and about rebuilding bridges. In my first life, I didn't know how to cross. Back home, a new idea sparked up. Later that week, when I knew Olivia might need to borrow my laptop again, because of hers, I deliberately opened a browser tab. It shows the webpage of the designer boutique. Present their latest collection in the city. In the front and in the middle is the dress. That breathtaking gold coin I've already bought. And hidden, as I expected when I returned. Come to my room later. Olivia just closed my laptop. She had a smug smile on her face. Dream big, sister. She scoffed, pointing to her laptop. Please, that gold coin. It's like you can afford it forever. Even if you could, you wouldn't know how to wear it. I just shrugged my shoulders. It's beautiful, isn't it? It made her feel like it was an impossible dream. The whispering began. Soon after, I saw Noah and Olivia huddled in the cafeteria, head closed, occasional glance at my path. When I walked past their table, they were silent. I used to feel paranoid. The new me felt a transcendent curiosity. Later, I casually approached Noah. Hey, exciting news, I said heartily. You know, my friend Chloe, the guy who loves photography. She was given an assignment to cover the prom. For the local newspaper. She's going to be taking pictures all night. Focus on candid meganance and fashion. Noah exchanged a quick, uneasy look with Olivia. He stood nearby, pretending not to listen. Oh, that's so cool, Noah muttered to himself. Good. Let them know. Any accident involving my potential dress. Probably just caught by the camera. Make it visible to the whole town. My caution is justified. A few days later. Use a recording app on your phone. Strategically forgotten. Close to the living room. Megan and Olivia's place. Engage in whispered conversation often. I caught gold. Literally. Just a little bit of overflow. Megan. Maybe it's cranberry juice, Olivia said. It stains badly. Especially on something as light-colored as gold. If she really gets that ridiculous dress. We have to be ready. Olivia. Be careful, warns Megan. But there was clearly no disapproval in her voice. We don't want real trouble. But yes, it will be unfortunate. If something happens, ruining such an extravagant purchase. Maybe she'll learn a lesson about practicality. When I stopped recording, my hands didn't even tremble. Predictable, even pathetic. I immediately called the designer boutique. Hi, I'm Amelia Chin. I said calmly. I need to change the pickup date. For order #742. Can I really leave the skirt to you? Until the morning of the ball. Can you store it in your safety safe? Until then. Yes, thank you very much. The week leading up to the prom is like a ticking clock. Olivia suddenly helped. Offered to pick up my dry cleaning. On the way home from school. I know you're busy studying, Amelia, she said sweetly. And shouldn't your prom dress be ready today? Oh, Olivia, that's so thoughtful, I replied. Matches her saccharine hue. But the golden skirt is not there. I decided to clean it up as the date approached. There were only a few winter sweaters in the bag that I needed to make. I handed her the claim ticket for the bag. Exactly contained. Old, bulky sweaters. Her smile paused for a second. Before she recovered. Ethan found me studying in the library. Again. So the prom, he began to lean against the bookshelf. Who are you going to go with? Actually, I said that this year I decided to fly solo. Looking up from my book, he looked really surprised. True? Why? Just want to hang out with my friends, dance and have fun. I shrugged. Nothing dramatic, though. I added. A smile appeared on my lips. I'm kind of looking forward to getting in. His eyes were fixed on me, waiting for Megan Auntie longer than necessary. Yes, I bet you would. From the corner of my eye, I saw Olivia, looking at us from behind a stack of journals. There was obvious jealousy on her face. The eve of the prom, my phone was buzzing and I received a text message from a friend. Hey, just heard Olivia tell Sarah and Jesse. After party at Lake House is by invitation only. Especially don't tell you. So, they wanted to exclude me again. Just like last time. Instead of feeling hurt or angry, I found it funny. Do they really think this is going to stop me? I picked up the phone and made a call. Not to fight Olivia, not to plead with my friend. I called Mr. Henderson, owner of the upscale lakeside venue. The official post-prom party is always a place to move. He was an old college friend of my dad. Hi, Mr. Henderson. I am Mr. Amelia Chun, daughter of Robert Chin. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Listen, I could have liked to have arranged a little surprise for my friends. After the prom tomorrow night, can I book that little VIP area overlooking the lake? It's a bit like a last-minute surprise party. He chuckled. For the sake of Robert's daughter, anything goes. That's it, Amelia. There is no charge. Refine. Let them have their little exclusive party. I'll host my own better next door. The stage has been set up. The morning of the dance was sunny, and Olivia and Megan made a fuss. A date at a local salon. Same. Here, whispers and gossip spread like wildfire. I slipped away early. My destinations. Adjacent to high-end spas and salons. More affluent towns. No one knows my name. Or my family's small-town drama. After a few hours, pamper and polish, I felt like a different person. Calm, focused, and prepared. Megan called when I was applying makeup professionally. Amelia, where are you? Olivia was almost ready. We wanted to take a family photo before you two left. Her voice tensed with exasperation. I'm sorry, Megan, I said it well. Was dragged down. Don't worry about me. I have my own ride. I'll see you at the venue on time. Before I could argue, I hung up. Later, peeked through my bedroom window. I watched Olivia leave. She wore a champagne-colored silk dress. It looks exactly like the ghost of my previous life. Megan and Dad. Who's coming must take a photo before the prom. As always, it looks a little uncomfortable. Megan fuss around her and adjusts her corsage. Tell her how beautiful she looks. For the first time all day, a sincere smile touched my lips. Everything is going according to plan. As I envisioned. My phone is buzzing. Texts from unknown numbers. A black sedan waits at the end of the driveway. Arranged. Miss Chun, your grandmother sends her greetings. Miss Chun, it's not Amelia. It still doesn't feel real. Because of the biggest secret. I didn't even write it in my diary. More than just a skirt. It's about her. My maternal grandmother. The matriarch of the rich, influential family. Megan has been estranged for years. Ever since she married her dad. A person who is considered to be far below their status. Megan never mentioned her. That side of pretending to be a family doesn't exist at all. But after I was born again, haunted by the past and uncertain about the future, I jumped at the chance. I found an old address, wrote a simple and heartfelt letter, and attached are some recent school photos. I didn't expect to get a reply, but she had already answered. At first cautious, then warmer and warmer. We exchanged emails and then made a secret phone call. And then even some cautious. I claimed a visit during the study weekend. What she saw in me. She spoke of what her own daughter lacked. Resilience, intelligence. A quiet dignity that made her strangely reminded of herself. She has provided help, resources, connections. Only caution is asked until I'm ready. Now is the time. I took a deep breath and walked out of my room. The dress felt like liquid gold against my skin. Catch the evening sun. It flows in through the windows of the hallway. It's not just beautiful. It feels like armor, like a kind of manifesto. My dad was waiting downstairs. Looks a little impatient. Ready to drive me alone as per our arrangement. A small act of rebellion. Against Megan's insistence that the whole family come. When he saw me walking down the stairs, his jaw really dropped. He was speechless, just staring. Wow, Amelia, he finally made it. There was surprise and something else in his voice, pride. You look great. The drive to the prom venue was quiet. Dad seemed to be lost in thought. When we pull up, I saw the black sedan, quietly parked on the street. A man in a crisp suit walked out. When my dad's car stopped. This is Marcus, my grandmother's chief assistant. Everything is ready, Miss Chun, he muttered to himself. Open my door. Security is clearing the way. The photographer is in place. Dad looked completely confused. Security, photographer, Amelia. What's going on? Just a little surprised, Dad. I smiled and shook Marcus' outstretched hand. When I stepped out of the car, the scene unfolded exactly as planned. Security deftly stopped. Crowd of students. Packed entrances. Flash bursts. Not a phone camera, but a professional DSLR camera, brandished by a photographer I don't know. Apparently Meganet was hired for this. A whisper of confusion spread through the crowd. Who's this? Why there is special treatment. Then I stepped into the light completely. Overflow from the entrance of the venue. The golden skirt seems to be set on fire. Sparkling, flowing, mesmerizing. The whisper turned into a wheeze. The phone must have gone out to record by now. A professional photographer walked with me. Capture every angle. Marcus escorted me to the door. Set off a social media storm in no time. The music inside seemed to stutter. The conversation stopped. Everyone turned their heads to Star. Stand by the ubiquitous punch bowl. The irony didn't go away in me, Olivia was. Her champagne-colored dress. It used to look so cute, but now it looks ordinary. Mass production. Depression. She froze. Her hand was half-reached over a plastic cup. She had a mask of shock and disbelief on her face. Ethan, who looks handsome in a tuxedo, started moving towards me. He had a hopeful look on his face. But before he approached me, an outstanding. The silver-haired man stepped smoothly on his path. Ms. Amelia, the man asked, holding out a hand. Arthur Morgan. I own the Vance Gallery in the heart of the city. Your grandmother and I shared your portfolio. Quite impressive. We have to talk about your work. He effectively stopped Ethan. Engage me in a conversation about art. About the future exhibition. Completely. Ignore the high school drama that circles around us. A few minutes later, politely bid farewell to Mr. Vance. I finally found my sister. I smiled genuinely and simply. Olivia, I said, my voice was calm and kind. That dress is really beautiful to wear on you. I picked up a clean champagne glass from a nearby tray, then handed it to her. Champagne. She just stared at me, completely bewildered by my lack of schadenfreude. I was unexpectedly kind. Let her be completely confused there. I walked around the room. Greetings to a few friends. Who doesn't believe in Olivia's strategy of exclusion? Laughter and chat. As if it were just any other prom night. Noah appeared at my elbow, looking embarrassed and remorseful. Amelia, hey, look, me. I would like to apologize for the recent estrangement. I'm stupid. Thank you, Noah. I said kindly. Accept his apology and don't dwell on it. Actually, I want you to meet someone. I gestured to a well-dressed man standing nearby, observing the scene with an interesting detachment. Noah, I'm Julian Hart. He was my grandmother's godson. Julian. Noah is a very talented songwriter. Julian Hart. Internationally renowned musician and producer. Though, few people here will recognize him out of context. Smile warmly at Noah. Songwriter. Excellent. Always on the lookout for fresh talent. Maybe you can send me some demos. My record label may offer a development agreement, suitable for the right young artist. Noah looks like he might faint. That's when it was. Megan hurried in, wearing her emergency guardian badge. Although I knew she was really coming. Witnessing what I call social humiliation. Her eyes scanned the room, looking for me. When she found out I wasn't crying in the corner. But it's easy to chat with Julian Hart and Noah. There were more and more impressive onlookers around. Her jaw tightened. And then there's the real wonderful. The door opened again and my grandmother walked in. Elegant, imposing. Exudes an aura of old money and absolute authority. She wore a simple but well-cut Chanel suit. Her silver hair was combed flawlessly. Marcus cautiously followed behind her. The only remaining chatter in the room was completely gone. Everyone knows who she is, even if they only know her by fame. She ignored the others. Her eyes immediately spotted me. She walked straight up to me. A rare smile appeared on her lips. Amelia, my dear. she said. Her voice was heard clearly in the sudden silence. She hugged me warmly. You look great. Turning slightly to speak to the room. But mainly influential figures. Love Mr. Vance and Julian Hart, she declared, who was attracted to us. For those who don't know, this is my granddaughter, Amelia Chen. My heir, the future president of Chen Industrial. The students gasped. Olivia looked fainted. Megan looked terrified. We are also very excited, grandmother continued. Her eyes sparkled as she looked at me. Build important. An art scholarship foundation established in the name of Amelia. Support talented young artists like her. Megan recovered a little and tried to push forward. Put on a trembling smile. Mom, what a surprise. We're just talking about Amelia's achievements. Grandmother interrupted her with a look that could freeze. Fire. Indeed, she said calmly. Her gaze swept over Megan. Before dismissing her completely. It's heartening when families recognize true value. When they see it. Then she turned to look at Mr. Vance. Arthur, Amelia. Exceptional business acumen has been demonstrated. Conduct some preliminary projects for the company. The past few months. Quite a strategic mind. Megan took a step back as if she had been hit, her face pale. My grandmother just publicly confessed to me. Elevate me, and it's subtle, devastating. Erased my mom from the narrative in one go. A well-planned blow. The turning point is not just the skirt. It's my whole life being rearranged and revealed. The rest of the prom night passed. In a congratulation. Inquisitive gaze. And whispered guesses. After that, and not. Exclusive party at the lakeside cottage. Olivia arranged. The real party has somehow changed. There was news that my grandmother and her circle. Just about to go back to our house for a drink. Suddenly, our humble suburban home is full of art dealers, musicians, business people. My grandmother was an influential friend, awkwardly mixed with my handful, loyal high school friend, and a stunned dad. Olivia found me in the kitchen. I tried to find a place for some ice cubes. Her makeup was stained and tears ran down her cheeks. The champagne-colored silk skirt now looks crumpled and sad. Amelia, she choked up and said, I'm really sorry for everything. For that dress, for Ethan, for all this. Pros, everything. I was so jealous. Please, can you forgive me? Her apology was a source of despair. Maybe not triggered by genuine remorse, but due to the sudden and dramatic change in my fortunes. I looked at her. The sister who made my past life miserable. Feeling tired. I hear you, Olivia, I whispered. Before I could say anything more, Megan appeared at the door. She wears a mask of maternal pride on her face. Amelia, dear. She rushed forward and hugged with her arms outstretched. My successful daughter. I've always known you felt that way. Deep down. I've always believed in you. Even if I'm pushing Olivia. I just hope you find your way. I instinctively took a step back and avoided the hug. Her words sounded hollow and false. In those years, people were belittled, compared, and ignored. They cannot be erased by this sudden change of tone. My answer was simple, quiet, but firm. No, it just doesn't. Not angry, not accusatory, just a statement of facts. I don't accept her rewriting of history. Her smile became dull. Confusion and damage flicker hardened into resentment in her eyes. Noah then cornered me near the back door. Hold a demo CD. Amelia, about the recording contract that Julian mentioned. This is a great opportunity. But I need to tell you something. I was almost going to warn Olivia about your dress. You may have a plan. I'm jealous, okay? Ethan is looking at you. I'm sorry. I listened calmly and took the CD he handed me. Thank you for your honesty, Noah. I said, my voice is neutral. I appreciate your apologies. I paused, then added. I'll think about it. About that kind of friendship. I want to invest. As I move forward. His face sank, and he understood the meaning. The door to easy forgiveness. For our original dynamics has been closed. And then there's Ethan. He found me standing by the fireplace, looking at the strange crowd in my living room. "Amelia," he whispered. "Can we really talk about it?" I nodded. "Look," he sighed, one hand stroking his hair. "I messed up. I'm interested in you. I've always been very interested. Hanging out with Olivia, basically. A way to get close to you and get your attention." Stupid. I know. Maybe we can start over and go on a real date. His confession. It may have excited me before, but now I just feel it. Irrelevant. He still chose the simpler and more popular path. He is still involved, but only indirectly. Hurt me. I smiled politely at him. "Thank you for telling me the truth, Ethan. I appreciate your honesty." I met his hopeful gaze directly. "But no, I don't think it's a good idea." Later, as the guests began to thin out, Megan made one last attempt. She approached me with an envelope. "Amelia," she said. Her voice was full of compulsion. I went to the bank. I transferred everything back to your college fund. Earn interest on my own savings." She shoved the envelope into my hand. "I hope we can be a family again. Maybe we can try family counseling. We can fix that. Get close again." I took the envelope. Glancing inside, the bank statement. The money is indeed there. "Thank you, Megan," I said, tucking it into my purse. "Thank you for the return." Then I added gently but firmly. "But I've made other arrangements. I'm moving out next month." Grandma helped me find a small apartment, close to her estate. When I launched my program, the final standoff came, when the grandmother was ready to leave. Olivia's face was covered with spots, and she pleaded with tears streaming down her face. "Please, Amelia," she pleaded, and took my hand. "Don't shut me out completely. I know I'm not worthy, but I'm always so jealous. You've always been good at everything, and you've never even tried. I feel like, just like anything around you. Can't we start over, please?" I looked at my sister. Really looked at her. Maybe for the first time. There is no filter for past damage. I see the insecurity behind the rights. The fear behind the bluff. I realized, suddenly clear, holding back anger is exhausting. "I forgive you, Olivia," I say, and I mean it. Forgive my own peace, not her. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting. That doesn't mean we're back to the way things were. I gently pulled my hand away. "We can be civilized. I think we'll meet on a family vacation, but I need distance." I needed to build my life outside of it all. Toxicity. Megan gasped. Dad looked heartbroken. Olivia just stared. Fresh tears welling. The shock in the room was palpable. They didn't anticipate the boundaries. They wanted me to either fold or explode. This silent refusal. This calm line. It's something they don't know how to deal with. My grandmother silently appeared beside me. Place a supportive hand on my shoulder. Her presence is like an anchor. She has already made her decision, Grandmother said. Her voice was soft, but with unmistakable finality. There is no room for argument. The rejection is outright. 2 years melted like sea mist. I was standing on the balcony, my grandmother's charming villa, overlooking the Mediterranean. It's not my permanent home, it's my cherished haven. A place. Grandma insisted that I use it whenever I needed calm. Air, warm and soft. With a scent. Lemon grove from the terraced gardens below. A breeze blows. The page of the business plan. I'm reviewing. The launch plan of the Chan Yi Art Foundation. Grandmother has. Not only did it encourage my artistic pursuits, in addition to my business training in the company, but she is actively funding this passionate project. Let me merge the two worlds I live in now. A letter arrives with the morning paper. Forward from my apartment. Close to corporate headquarters. The handwriting is familiar, but more neat. More thoughtful than I remember. It comes from Olivia. Inside is a simple graduation announcement. Graduated from the state university where she eventually attended. After the disastrous consequences of her plagiarism, discovered by her first-choice school, she majored in environmental science. Found what really belonged to her. A short handwritten note is attached. Found your own path. At last. Hope you're happy, Amelia. Maybe see you on Dad's birthday. No apologies, no demands, just update. Maybe it's a sign of real growth. I hid it away and felt a surprisingly closed feeling. She no longer lives in my shadow. For I will no longer do unto her. Later, I called my dad. Our relationship. At first it was tentative. It's already flowering. Once I established a clear boundary with Megan. He respected my decision and we found a new footing. Connect through shared interests and future plans. And not the grievances of the past. We finalized his plans for his upcoming visit. We celebrated my 21st birthday together. Next month, explore the coastal towns near the villa. When the sun begins to sink towards the horizon, paint the sky with fiery oranges and pinks. I walked along the private beach below the villa. The sand under my bare feet was cool. My grandmother joined me. Walk in comfortable silence for a while. Before speaking, her voice was softer than usual. We need to discuss the timeline for the transition. European operations. It's all up to you, she said. Businesswoman forever. But there was warmth in her eyes. We talked for a few minutes. Details of multi-million-dollar transactions, mixed with the sound of the waves. Then she paused. Look out at the endless expanse. A place where the sea meets the sky. Have you ever regretted it, Amelia? She asked softly. What was the decision you made? After prom night, I followed her gaze to the horizon. A perfect, uninterrupted line. I think of anger, that kind of hurt. An elaborate plan for revenge. I remembered where I am now. Peace, purpose, unexpected joy. A gold dress that symbolizes rebellion and change. It is now carefully preserved. I even painted it. Hung empty on the window. Light turns fabric into something ethereal. Almost otherworldly. That painting was supposed to be the centerpiece of my first painting. Solo gallery opens next month. I don't regret anything, grandmother. I replied, my voice clear and steady. Sometimes it's the most beautiful thing, the most real thing. It can only appear after a complete conversion. After everything burned down, my phone rang softly in my pocket. A notification confirming the details of gallery opening. I laughed. The past is the past. Revenge feels like a distant, faded photograph. I don't need it anymore. I have something infinitely good, a future. Finally, truly your own life. When the last rays of sunlight disappear under the waves, I closed my eyes and breathed in the salty air. I felt a deep sense of peace than I had ever lived before. Even the turbulent road of my rebirth. Never allowed. It's true. It's mine.